What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 9 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Tiktaq'to, not Old World, Immortal Empires Expanded campaign. So as we saw last time, we have acquired Lord Croak in an epic fight for, well, Lord Croak, or to wake him, against the massive piles of Skaven there, though it looked like the piles of aerial units were very much superior. We have been working through the territories of the rapturous excess Slaneshi, who have annoyed us to some degree, but unfortunately for them, the aerial focus that Tiktaq'to's army is a pretty hard counter to them, so we're looking pretty good there. We were also able to beat back the Flaming Scribes' attack out of Demon's Gate as Digga, our new Slan of Life, and the Nahuatls were able to deal with them pretty well. And also this big ol' fight at Oishel as the rats attempted to take that, trying to stop us from getting that Shrine of Birds. Screw them. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this particular turn, must have been a reason why I didn't end the turn. It wasn't building. Oh, I know. What I wanted to do was this. We will want to grab a temporary lord, one of these guys. I know it's going to be expensive, but it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do and all that. And we want to grab another skink priest. We'll go for the lucky one. Like so. Alright, don't worry. There's reasons for this, which we will see as soon as we end the turn. We will also want to send another military convoy out, so you, Conquest convoy, you are going to where you haven't been before. We could do the Parasaurs. Let's do the Parasaurs, why not? Max that out. 6 specimens, I like it. Dispatch. Alrighty. Very, very nice. Hopefully we get more Puriaras. I take it that there's some special thing we have to do to unlock all of these Gekalo things, and Thunder Lizard. Right, Colossadon Rex. Okay, so these ones are from doing these specific missions a bunch of times, which we're working towards. Alrighty, and once again we go for egg collection. Always egg collection. Nice. And I believe we're good to go to end the turn. That was the military convoy. We don't need masteries. We don't need rights, at least not this turn, though I think next turn we'll be ready to use those. Heroes have moved. Yeah, alright. Admittedly, probably could have ended this particular turn last episode, but well. Oh, I just realized what we could have done. Could have probably restarted the recruitment of some Saurus units. On the other hand, I suppose if our income continues to be, well, rather negative, we might not be able to at this time, so we shall see. Anyway, what do we have here? Alberic de Bordelot, we're not going to be trading with you, buddy. You are holding on to a landmark of the Lizardmen variety, and I fear this means that you must be destroyed. If he's lucky, he'll lose the landmark to a, I don't know, Rakarth or a Chaos faction or something. And then we won't have to destroy him to get it. Now, what do we have here? We have Saurus Warriors with shields or Saurus Warriors with spears. Definitely going to go, or maces or spears. Definitely going to go with spears because we need more anti-large in this particular army. Give them spears. Alright, ally mobilizes, right expires. Ooh, double right. And we are going to go for the right of ferocity. Gotta get that extra research right. And then we'll pop the right of Tsunki possibly when we need it. There we go. What's our research rate looking at? Looking like now we are at 317, not bad. Gotta get to that interpreting the old one's meaning and the lovely control bonuses that it offers. Then, what we want to do is this. Mr. Mazdaconqua, you are going to take the 2 regular Pterodon riders from Tiktaq'to. Tiktak, you are going to now get the Pawash Sentinels to join with the rest of them. And you are going to... okay, wait. You are going to Steel Tech to start. Then you are going to go out to sea. One moment. Alright, you gotta be kidding me. With 95%? Buddy, you disappoint me greatly. Anyway, Tic-Tac, you are going to hit up this place, and then we're going to have Uniweni join the army and start racking up that XP. In a second, alright, we'll move on in, and you will move on out. Now, there's nobody at sea here, right? I don't see any rogue armies or anything like that. Alright, go here and we will deliver the, we'll deliver these units. Like so, and then you pop on in to leech that XP until you're ready to become a tech thief. Oh, I should really rename Dikukan. I should probably not say his name, unless it's because YouTube will get upsetty. A certain Tomb King Lord had a name that made YouTube very upset at me, but anyway, you can be Tech Thief. Alrighty. And then Uniweni can become a Tech Thief eventually. I'll resolve this for obvious reasons and occupy. Get that XP going. And there we go. Public order will now be dropping here, unfortunately, but there isn't much we can do about it. Let's pop up that Grand Plaza and immediately get the Lizardmen Plaza here as well. Ooh! The construction cost reduction here out of the marble is going to be very valuable, considering it's a red territory, so that is a rather nice pickup. Alright, Ezozyme. Alright, last episode you got hit with a annoying ability, the... what was it called? The mutagenic energies, which had made your army waste the lovely bonus control that would otherwise... or bonus replenishment that would otherwise be helpful to us. Unfortunate though it was, just gonna have to live with it. Steel Tech for you, sir. Alright, and who is up next? Well, Ezozyme is stuck healing for a while now. Quetgar, ooh, yes, okay, so... we have... to build our first geomantic pylon. Good lord, it is expensive, but, you know, commandments and all that. The next tier will give us an extra bit of research, extra spawning sequence, extra construction costs and all that, so gotta do what you gotta do. And I hate to expend this much cash on it, but it's never gonna get cheaper. Right, Quetgar? You're in the right place, right? Yeah. And you are in the construction cost reduction? Yeah, man, it's just stupidly expensive, but what can you do? Geomantic pylon, and we'll need to upgrade that as well, which will also be expensive, but we'll go for... I guess the old one monument for now. We could also build one of these so that we can, you know, deal with the alignments. And use it up to some degree. Frankly, none of this is really critical, to be perfectly honest, though I don't dislike the campaign movement range offered by this one, just because you've been bouncing around between this territory and other territories. Anything else to do anything for this particular territory? These are very minor buffs, so it's not very critical. Upkeep reduction for flying units faction-wide. That's nice, and we may want to spam a few more of those later on. Why not? Let's build the temple lookout to Tepok, though admittedly we could get more money out of building the other thing. This thing, I mean. It will also give us income from all buildings in all adjacent provinces at a higher tier than 3, which isn't bad, but 10% isn't anything crazy either. Yeah, fine. I just do the temple lookout to Tepok for now. Alright, good enough. And then I guess we'll need to go back here, but for now, you will want to move down here and grab the Sun Tree Glades, Holy Ziggurat, and the Bastillodon lumber carriers. And in theory, we'll want to go southward to Uatek, though it's pretty cheap to build the glowing berry patches at the very least. Will you be able to get back here in 2 turns? I don't know. Go to Nawantel. And what is this? Oh, he survived. Well, isn't that rude? I can't believe he escaped. Okay, well, we were looking for you, but I guess it doesn't really matter now. Now, you guys, we really need to deal with Coats. I'd love to push on towards the Awakening, but I'm not so sure that we can. We can leave the Blood Swamps. We could also ignore the place and attempt to go to the Altar of the Horned Rat. I do wonder what level it is, though. Gorog doesn't have the strongest of armies as yet, and we don't really have enough money to get him better stuff. We could attempt to draw one of these armies into combat, though it does mean moving away from a Shlotl, which would potentially be dangerous, as if the rats come around, well... that's not so great. Well, either way, we'll want to start building the skink lookouts, which are shockingly expensive. Oh man, I'm not so sure that we can actually afford that right now. I think we'll have to wait. Alright, I'm going to say risk going out to sea. And I'm just going to hope that it's not a bad idea. I'll give it a try. Alright, and then... okay, you know what? I probably should have checked whether one of these guys was willing to peace out shortly. You can go to a Shlotl because it's more critical that we keep it than the Blood Swamps, and if these guys come for the Blood Swamps, well, that's just the nature of the beast. Let's see diplomacy. Anybody willing to peace out? Clan Spittle! Yeah, and that's why I should have checked it. Okay, I guess we can, we'll peace out with them and we'll ignore them and go to Fuming Serpent instead. Alright, just temporarily. We'll eventually come back and destroy them, of course. Yeah, see, that's why I should have checked Diplo. Oh well. One extra turn wasted, not a big deal. Eastern River Lords. Are you friendly with Nakai? Actually, Nakai might be dead. I don't see any... Well, I guess they might be enemies with them. I'm wondering whether it's worth it to befriend them right now. Maybe it is. Oh, wait. I just see the Defenders of the Great Plan right there. Never mind. And that means Nakai is alive. Wardens of the Living Pool are willing to confederate, but I think that one is not one that we need to do right now. We'll do the Eastern River Lords because they're probably willing to give us the most cash for our trouble. And we definitely need the cash right now. We'll do the Defenders of the Great Plan and take their money as well. We will do... do we want to do the Spirits of Shanlan? I mean, we could leave them here. It's not like... Yeah, why not? Them not attacking us might be a decent thing, and it's a free trade agreement. Oh, though I do wonder whether the Cathians will dislike us being friendly with them. We'll see. Alrighty, and I believe we are good. Yes? Yes. Alrighty. That at least saves us the cash, and oh, that does mean we can build the defenses, the lookouts here. Like so. And we really want to get that Chameleon Shrine, so we got to get this up to tier 3 as soon as possible. Shanapek should be able to defend itself now. Let's see, is there any other building that needs to be... Okay, wait. River Curveza, nothing that we want to do with that. Uatek, we will want to upgrade you, but only once Quetgar gets here. Mosquito Swamps, you're fine-ish. I mean, we could upgrade you. It's only 900. Why not? And the Abyssal Glacier. Public order may be necessary here because characters and military presence provide a fair amount of public order here. Although I do wonder whether it's growth that might be the more critical thing. This doesn't give us growth, does it? It does not. Unfortunately. +2 control. I mean... Eventually the control will be okay, but for now we might have to spend the money and then we'll get more control later. I believe that's all that we can afford, or at least want to spend money on. And I believe that's another end turn. Alright, so let's skip, and... You can't be attacked here, I don't think so. Alright, end turn. Hopefully Izozyme will finally heal and then we won't have to worry about him too much. On the bright side, while... Okay, all of this garbage red territory in the Chaos Wastes will eventually be green territory, but for now, it's something we have to deal with. But on the bright side, as I was saying, we're heading toward... Oh, what is this? Go away, Shayak. What I was saying was... What do you want? Now... We're going towards a Skull Island back here, A, and B, we want to go towards Ind and Koresh, so we're kind of on the way just by, you know, by land rather than by sea. Anyway, what do we have here? We could get Skink Skirmishers, Javelin Cohort, or more Kroxigors, and pretty much always go for more Kroxigors. Ally Occupies Settlement, oh, finally. Good job, Techless. Actually, you know what? Not good job. You took way too long to do that. Anyway, sequence of expansion is up and running, and the next sequence of expansion is also a sequence of expansion. Oh, sequence of artisan is done. Expansion, yes. The growth in the campaign, movement range, definitely want. You. No reaching Altar of Facades, unfortunately, but it is their last territory. And this is a little bit annoying. What's the likelihood that they can take Castle of Splendor? It's possible. You know what? I think we're going to have to send you back here. Huh, wait. I was hoping that if you were in regular stance, you could just reach land and kill this Shayak, but it looks like that's not the case, so that's alright. A waste of a couple turns on you, but it is what it is. Sit here and get ready to chase down and hunt down Shayak. Alrighty, yo. Izozyme. Yeah, you're here for a couple more turns. Ugh, I hate your inability to heal. Gonna have to get you that Skink Chief someday. Yo. Go to Slatlan. And then we'll quickly build up the Barrio and the Mystic Fern Grove here. Stop. Okay, good. And Mystic Fern Grove and Kroxigor Labor District, and the next turn we'll bump that up and then move right back to Nawantl. Lovely. How are we looking out here? Okay, so these guys are kind of moving around. Ah, I guess they're going to blood swamps? Huh. Wait a moment. These guys might attempt to take it. I wonder if... Okay, so Gorok, go back here. If we put you into march stance, we could get close enough to end Coates by attacking with you. I mean, we could give it a try. I mean, I'm a little bit wary of these guys all attacking us together, but, you know, maybe we'll overcome. Go here. And you, make sure that you attack from this angle to hopefully push you this way instead of up this way. And... that's kind of annoying. Can't do anything about that, can we? Yeah, no reaching you now, but it is what it is. And you can't get... wait. Move down here. Decent likelihood that they attack the blood swamps. Well, I'm gonna risk that they do, because then we'll still be able to destroy both of these armies and threaten their main territories, so... risky, but you gotta risky to get the bisky. And hey, the Shrine of Birds is now up and running. There's no taking Oishul now, at least not for the Skaven. I'd love to upgrade Subaton, but I'm not so sure that we can... well, let's get the livestock pens, but I'm not so sure that we can risk spending money otherwise. Unfortunately, we just don't have enough. Anyway, Tic-Tac, starting with you. You are going to proceed to the Altar of Facades, I guess, this way. I would prefer that you not suffer attrition. I might have to spend 2 turns doing it, but that's alright. The expedition will keep on moving. Oh, actually, speaking of the expedition, how's your leveling? Up to rank 8. Beautiful. Oh, actually, we'll want to save the points so we can get Animal Wrangler and Pathweaver both. What do you have? Oh, you have no extra point. Okay, well then. Well, then I guess we've got nothing to do there. Digga, you are stuck where you are until the other army comes around, and then you can keep stealing tech. Alright, another success. Alright, looking good. Steel tech is working for us. I believe that's another end turn. Wait. Not making the same mistake of not checking the Diplo again, so... last defenders. Let's get an alliance. Do we want a defensive alliance with these guys? They're in a war with the Ironbrow's expedition. They will give us a vision up here. Might force us into a war with the... with the Tomb Kings, which is a little bit concerning. You know, I'm gonna say military, just military access for now. Let's not go overboard, not risk it. Alright. And, Cult of Sotek is also available with the Defensive Alliance, but why make them stronger? We'll want to confederate them. Especially the other Skink Lords. Anyway, end turn. Now we're looking good. Abyssa is back, the enemy, the lord of this faction, but probably won't have enough of a force to actually threaten us. So there, Tehenwan wants that defensive alliance, but, you know what, as long as he's keeping Clan Pestilence distracted, that works for us, and yeah, they will indeed attack this. I am not surprised. I'm a little bit annoyed, but not surprised, because the AI behaves absolutely suicidally like this, just to annoy the player. It's a little bit silly because, yeah, you cost us whatever, you know, the money it cost to deal with you. But we'll get the money back by attacking you, so I don't know. By attacking your army, which you will have now lost. Because Gorok will destroy it. So I don't know, man. Anyway, what do we have here? Oh, right, set the traps. Ugh. Okay, this time I don't really want to spend the 400 gold, but might as well make it easier for us to fight. Solomon sacked, yes. Creator, disciplinarian. Warherd of the One Eye is relevant to us? No, it isn't. Warherd of the One Eye starts down here now, not in the Empire? Really? He should start in Middenland no matter what. That's so weird. Well, whatever. Alright, steel tech from the Altar of Facades. Like so. And you will chase down Shiak. Oh, don't tell me. We're gonna have to go back and kill you with Tic-Tac, aren't we? Because you're not gonna be able to reach now. Okay, I gotta say that's pretty irritating, but, well, it is what it is. Granted, one lord can't really do anything, but just do it, whatever. Free XP and all that. Maybe by then Abyssa will have a full stack and we'll have more of a fight available to us. Alright, down you go, and oh, hopefully Tiktaq'to can actually go into... Yes, okay, so you're going to spend the turn here, and then you will eventually return to wherever it was you were going. Let's get you... I'm going to say Inspiring Presence first, and then Root Marcher second. Free Scroll of Blast might come in handy in a fire army, or we might delete it and transfer. We'll see. Anyway, let's build up the Lotus Gathering camp here, and then move Quetgar to Nawantla. Like so. And get ready to proceed to Statues of the Gods next turn. Alrighty, and then now you are... Huh. Wait, so one Geomantic Pylon is not enough to upgrade the this thing to tier 3? Well, that's unfortunate. I thought that would upgrade the Geomantic Web by 1, but apparently not. Meaning we need to build the next Geomantic Pylon here at Quashotla as fast as we can. We could, I suppose, get rid of the Floating Gardens here in order to do it earlier. Because that was a huge expenditure that apparently did nothing. I swear back in the olden days, the building of a single one of those did in fact upgrade it, but apparently not the case anymore. Where are you going? You're at war with these guys. Why are you going down here? Oh, you're going to be annoying and try to take the territories that we worked for, aren't you? That's the AI for you. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, Gork, you're going to deal with this in a second. Digga, you can't move, but the Tech Thief can certainly keep on stealing. Like so. Oh, love all the successes. Don't love the fact that we're nearly bankrupt, though. Yeah. Go here. Yeah, congratulations. You sacked the Blood Swamps. Repair and repair. And let's get the money back. Gorok, kill. Pretty sure you can auto-resolve this. And Pyrrhic Vic... Really? Well, I guess that is a lot of animated hulks, to be fair. Alright, fine, fair enough. We'll fight it. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I'm just gonna have to make sure that we take out those zombie-powered gunnery mobs with our air force, and then we can annoy the bombers. Anyway, go, go, go. And I got so used to hearing silly Mato from Tiktaq'to, but oh well, nice to hear from Gorok as well. Let's see how we do here. Though we'll have to wait at least a little bit while we move into position. Now, the benefit of the Archaeopteryx as Warhounds is that they are stalking Warhounds, and thus we can get behind the enemy army to where the Archaeopteryx can threaten their bombers and their catapults, or their artillery, rather. Which they do have 3 of, and 3 mortars is certainly a threat, and all those bombers, and admittedly the zombie-powered gunnery mob with hand cannons, are very much a threat as well. Now we're going to start the battle up by annoying the enemy with our 3 skink chiefs, which are going to move on in and get those blow darts blowing to try to annoy the animated hulks. Now, skink chiefs, in terms of damage, are pretty garbage. The blow darts don't do that much damage. This is, what, like 3 volleys now? These guys have suffered basically nothing. And that considering the fact that animated hulks have effectively no armor whatsoever. They do have decent physical and missile resistance, though, so good for them. Anyway, just going to keep annoying them, partly just to do damage, but also partly because the skink chiefs are not threatened by mortar shells at all, since they're single-entity heroes. And after enough time of doing this, the enemy should get sufficiently annoyed and the enemy army should start to move towards us. Plus, we gotta do something while we wait for our reinforcements to arrive, as we may as well allow the enemy to break themselves upon some of the reinforcements before moving our main stack in. It's going to be a toughie to actually take the Awakening from the enemy, their capital, and so we do have to preserve our troops as best as we can. Alrighty, and ooh, did they manage? They did. They managed to bring one of the 20 animated hulks down. So yeah, that was what, like a minute and 30 seconds of fire from 3 heroes. It does about 5% damage to them. It's really not much. But all good, because the death of that, or the true death, I suppose, of that single animated hulk meant that the enemy is finally moving towards us. Speed it up now. Move the Archaeopteryx in, getting ready to move. We also have 3 units of skirmishers hidden in this little forest. We have 2 units of chameleon stalkers ready to hit the enemy from this flank. We have the pterodon riders ready to go over the enemy as well. Gorok will lead the charge because no amount of range or melee damage is going to threaten him. And being a ridiculously tanky lord and all that, and he's gonna just make his way through the sirens and directly towards the enemy lord. There we go, time to summon the Ripperdactyls and drop them down upon the enemy mortars below. Here come the units of flyers, and they're going to drop their bombs upon the enemy range units, so that they cannot fire back at the pterodons. And the Archaeopteryx are moving in to join the fray as well. And there we go. They are in fact moving past the mortars, which are being attacked by another unit of Archaeopteryx instead. You're going to have to be careful about the Archaeopteryx engaging the animated hulks, because they will get obliterated by them. And frankly, the friendly fire from the Fire Leech Bullets probably won't help the little fellas either, but all good. There we go. We've now smashed into the enemy line from multiple directions, and the AI is going to start having a bad day very, very soon. The Skink Skirmishers have come out of the jungles and are now firing into the backs of the enemy line, while Awashti has brought the reinforcements and is pinning 2 units of animated hulks and some zombies in place, and allowing the other units to fire upon them, but also not allowing the enemy to take advantage of those units. Archaeopteryx have done their charge damage and are now backing out rather than staying in combat for obvious reasons. Again, being a Warhound type unit, we can't keep them in the fight for very long. And they're going to be more fragile than the cold ones we have access to, so we don't want to risk them. No, I do wonder how well they'd function together, or maybe how well they'd function together with the Kulkan, interestingly. Because the Kulkan and the Kulkan Riders are larger units. I wonder if you can intersperse the smaller Archaeopteryx amongst them, essentially moving them in one unit in the same way that you might combine monstrous infantry and infantry. Granted, they'd still be 2 very fragile units, but, And just a thought. We could also, of course, do the same thing with cold ones and other such units. Anyway, the battle is turned very much in our favor. The bounce power is at about 100% in our favor. In fact, the enemy lord has by and large been defeated by Gorok. The melted piles of animated hulks lie around him, and the enemy lord has been brought down by the mace of Ulamak as well. It looks like the last of the enemy units, a few more of the animated hulks, now brought down by Washti and his Kroxagors from the garrison, and with that, the battle is ours. Very nice, and a heroic victory for Gorok at that. Alrighty, there we go. Certainly the animated hulks and the bombs are a threat. In fact, it's an army composition that I myself have used. Our animated hulks and bomb units, the zombie-powered gunnery mobs with bombs or bombers, are very, very good together. It was one of my favorite army compositions when I last played Vampire Coast, or second last time I played Vampire Coast, but whatever. Yeah, enjoyed it, but unfortunately the enemy couldn't quite handle the mobility and the stalking and just generally surrounding the enemy that we had access to. Now, Gorok is really slow. I think we're going to need to get him a banner of swiftness. I don't think we can speed max him because I don't think there's enough buffs that we could potentially get him to make him reasonably quick, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, no choice but to take the money, I think. 1650. Pretty solid. We need to get the money back, and Ranger's standard. Good. You can't reach Ann Coates from here, unfortunately. What you can maybe do is go into ambush right there, and then we'll follow along with the Washti. Who knows, maybe Ann Coates will try to wipe him out. Could certainly come in handy if that works out that way. Alright. Anybody else need to do anything? I believe Digga has to sit there, and there's no money to be spent, or at least we don't have money. So we can't do much about it. How are you doing in terms of fighting the Skaven? Strength rank 183, settlements 2. Alright, so it looks like the Tehenuan is in a nice deadlock with the clan Pestilence, which is really nice for us. He is also still, unfortunately, at war with the clan Spittle, which we now pieced out with, but we gotta deal with the Vampire Coast, so not much we can do about that yet. but it's coming. Anyway, I believe we're ready to end the turn, so skip, and then turn. Got to keep paying attention to those alignments as well, because they're going to keep on rising, and we'll need to get them back. Huh. Watch Lakshi there attack the military alliance. I'm going to say no. You know, I'd love to ally with Cetra, but I don't think we can risk the last defenders attacking him, so I think we're going to ignore him for now. Fortunately, because of the way that strategic... Hey, this actually worked. I wasn't expecting it to. Anyway, out of resolve. What was I saying? Ooh, and a feather foe torque. Very, very nice. Air superiority. Well, the items are working for me. We will take the... Still take the money. What was I saying? Oh, right. Fortunately, that the way the Tomb Kings work means that as long as we keep getting stronger, he should keep liking us more. A little bit disappointing that he pieced out with Archans. Hopefully they get back into fighting each other rather than, you know, kind of nervous about the fact that he's keeping a full stack here, considering these are our main territories, but they have effectively no garrisons. We're just kind of relying on allies being nearby. Anyway, add a skink chief to this army, which doesn't technically have one. And no, it's another battle against this particular army composition. I mean, free skink chief. Free XP as well. Intervene. Ambush. You know what? Much as I'd love this, I think we're free to auto-resolve this one. There's going to be a ton of these going forward, so I don't think we need to rely on this. And... okay, that... admittedly, that was a lot of damage, but we will still release captives. Alrighty, and Gorog, don't need the Feather Foe Torque. We will give that to somebody together with the Tic-Tac. Glyph Necklace, probably gonna go on Gorog. And man, you gotta admit, the Source Old Bloods just look fantastic. You gotta love the armor, the feathers, the whole aesthetic. It's fantastic. Anyway, hey! What do we have to do? Win 2 battles. We've been waiting for a little bit more spawning sequence. Gorok needs some blessed Saurus desperately. Who wants to have a little bit of air superiority? Now, maybe we'll give it to the Skink Priest? Because we might want more fighty stuff on the other guy, on the Chief. I'll go for the Feather for Torque for you for now, but we'll see. We shall see. Anyway, how are the Tech Thieves doing? Alright, you Tech Thief again. And success, and then, you know what? I think we can suffer a turn of attrition to go here. I don't want to spend 2 turns again. Slightly annoying, but it is what it is. Just go, just go. And then you can go into Castle of Splendor and then head on out afterwards. Lovely. Oh, I should have stayed in just at the edge of this territory instead. Yeah, whatever. All good. Lord Croak can't make us immune to attrition, can he? I don't think so, but it would have been nice if he could. I feel like maybe Slan could have an anti-attrition thing, but maybe not. There it is. Casualties suffered from all attrition from Geomantic Aid, but it's going to need until rank 10, so no dice as yet, but we'll get there. Alright, so that was Tic-Tac. Let's move the other Tech Thief while we're at it. And pop into Demon's Gate, please. Like so, another failure. Come on, man. And alignments are at 100. Alright, you know what? I think we are going to go for the Frostbite on these guys. It's not, like, it is unfortunate to lose the Sundering Armor, but the plus 10 melee defense is nice. Huh? Did I misclick it? Apparently I did. Alright, Blessed Spawning of Tsunki. I like so. Alright, so now you will have Frostbite rather than Sundering, but you'll still be quite good. And you are finally frickin' full HP. You know what, go out here, grab this Remnants of Battle, and then meet up with Digga. Frankly, you should be meeting up with them as well to transfer these guys. We can always make those into Fire Leech Bolas as well, should we desire to do so. Alright, so, who's where? Quetgar. You, in theory, will want to upgrade the Geomantic Spire here, but we can't afford it, so that's just... I'm just gonna leave it as it is. The Zlatlan is fine, there's nothing to upgrade. We could get rid of the spawn pools of the Braves here and build a money building, in theory. Or a growth building. Frankly... This place is going to grow very, very slowly, and it's not like we're going to have additional Skink Chief capacity anytime soon. So you know what? I think that's probably a good option. We'll do that. And then since you've oh, well, actually, you can stay here to upgrade the Sun Tree Glades next turn. So yeah, just sit. Washti and Gorok. Now, if we had the... Oh, I was about to say, if we had the extra cash, I'd push towards the Awakening to take it out. We can't do it right now anyway. You go here. We will... I mean, we could get some cheap one-turn units, but at the same time, if we're going to, we may as well save money and grab a few of these guys. Probably the way to do it. If we could just get a little bit of extra cash next turn, that would clinch it for us. Alrighty, you know what? Let's see if we can't get any via Diplo, then. Oh, ha. By virtue of the fact that we ambushed and destroyed that army, we couldn't get free cash out of them, which is a shame, but what can you do? Alright, and the rest of this, I believe, we are ignoring. Actually, if the deserters of Katep are looking like they're about to die, maybe we can get the agreements going with them before we wipe them out. It might be a decent option, just to get that little bit of extra cash. Anyway, Tiktaq'to, you are proceeding to the Altar of Facades, which should give us some cash, so we'll skip again, and then turn. Hope I'm not forgetting anything, but if I am, it's too late. Every end turn moved forward is more expedition stuff, and our expedition chiefs are nearly rank 10, which means they will soon be able to move on to the second type of expedition, which is really nice. Although I guess we do need to complete one of each type of expedition, so 7 before moving on to the next type. And oh, you have got to be kidding me. This guy's going... Oh, they're probably going to take one of those territories. I hate the Beastmen. Oh, well, what can you do? Defensive Alliance. 2,000 gold. Yeah, but I don't want to fight Skulltaker right now. I'm going to say no. We'll confederate them eventually, but I think it's a bad idea. Alright, so out of curiosity, let me just see here. Okay, wait, let's see. Dilemma. What do we have here? Oh, another trait. We have Sotek Sanctum, we have Ammunition, and we have Weapon Strength. Admittedly, with the presence of 3 now Kroxigors, the weapon strength isn't too bad. But the this little effect isn't too bad either. Although it's what? Total damage per second, 30 to 60, eh? So if you're hitting multiple units, you'll do 300 to 600, which is something, but it's not crazy. And we already have the snake trap in another one, but it does feel appropriate. 20% weapon strength, admittedly affecting everybody, but the weapon strength on the chameleon stalkers is fairly low. So it's about a quarter of our army that will see significant effects from this. You know what? I'm gonna go with Blade Trap this time. Alright, screw it. Right of Sotek formed last defenders. Amateur discovered Lakshi, the World Eater. And yeah, so we could run here, but it'll take all of our movement range. I was thinking we have... Oh, we wouldn't be able to reach... Oh, that's a really annoying position. Alright, you are going to set sail. Actually, no, you are going to... We need to move you somewhere where this guy can't reach, but so that we can chase after him after. Alright, go out here. Go into encamp stance. Go back here. I'm going to assume that he can't go after us here. Or we can back off, hopefully. Tic-tac, then you're going to take the opportunity to take the Altar of Facades and loop back around. Steel Tech, okay, there's that Blade Trap, and there's that Steel Tech, and there's that bonus growth, which is much needed. Much obliged. And... Oh. Huh. The Tech Thieves with the Block Army. You know what? Maybe we'll have you go after Lakshi. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have done that right now instead of stealing tech. Well, too bad. Should have thought it through. That's what you get for not thinking. Anyway. You'd think I'd be used to it by now. Demon's Gate and Zote Servant. Hello. Nice find. Not for you, but very nice find indeed. You will have another Steel Tech. Beautiful. Hopefully we can get a few more of those as we go. Anyway, Tic-tac. You're gonna hit up the Altar of Facades now, which I assume you'll be able to auto-resolve again, because, I mean, we've seen it. Oh, you won't. Alright, fine, we just obliterate them from the air, whatever. We'll deal with that in a second. I think we'll just manually fight it because, you know, aerial domination of the Slaaneshi, very much in our favor. And ooh, we're at -5, which isn't great. We can't build anything. Gorok and Washti are, in theory, able to proceed to the Awakening. These guys have troops coming back, though. What do we have here, incidentally? Just the Amexon Barb. I don't know what army that's going to pop into. And I guess you need to move that. Wait, where is Guy? Okay, you. Izozheim, go here. Grab that Remnants of Battle. And go for, I guess, Arabian Arms. Any money? Nah, just ensorcelled blades and a terrifying mask of V. Alright. Hopefully we'll get money soon. Just gotta go down here and deal with this. Anyway, let's do this real quick. I'm just going to manual it. Alright, beautiful. Alright, you guys move now. See if the enemy starts moving towards it, and then you guys go focus down that Herald of Slaanesh. Let's see how quickly the enemy gets to close before we do anything. Alright, you guys want to drop a few bombs here and there? Well, let's do it. I'll speed it up as soon as we're done with the bomb dropping. Alright, not bad at all. You guys keep on moving and keep on moving. You can, I think, drop bombs as you move, like so and like so. Alrighty, and stay out here. You're the main damage dealers. Alright, the enemy lord is nearly done for. I'm kind of tempted to just land the blob. Go blob. At least this way, maybe the enemy will go for it, you know, the melee blob rather than anything else. You guys move forward. Get some more Prodactyls to distract some of the chaos spawn. Just to distract them, mind you. And then the enemy piles of infantry should get obliterated by the fire units. Sounds good to me. Alright, anybody else with bombs? Maybe want to drop a few more? Just at the edge of our blob of units. Enemy's kind of not blobbing up nicely, which is kind of disappointing, but whatever. May as well drop them. And hello, they got a Doom Bolt. Well, that's tremendously rude. Alright, well. Keep on killing, and ha! This one unit of Exalted Demonettes. Gotta be careful. I'll have to deal with them. There's an enemy lord out here as well, but I think we need to prioritize killing the Demonettes. And we're just about done. Okay, you guys are actually starting to take damage, so back out. Let's move the Coatl in. Like so, and then maybe drop a few bombs on these guys as soon as we're able to, like so. There we go. No significant damage to the Coatl, but the Demonettes are pretty much done. We can also pop a Deliverance of Pizzas. There we go. Alright, that does mean that I stopped paying attention to you guys. Tiktaq'to, stay. And how are you guys doing? Let's back off the Riperdactyls because, you know, they're severely damaged now. That's just their nature, though. Pretty much always severely damaged. And, oh, why did you guys float up? What the heck? Did I back off the wrong units? Well, that's my bad if I did that. If I did that, then it's my fault the poor Riperdactyls got hurt. Alright, you know what? You, go and buff the hurt Riperdactyl. Alright, these guys are out. Alright, let's move you all in to go after the Chaos Spawn. What is this? Oh, that's just a summoned Riperdactyl. That one we don't care about. Alright, other Riperdactyls, go out here. Yeah, see, a couple of them are stuck, so the entire blob is attempting to go back into combat, even though we don't want them to be back in combat. Alright, nobody that we can really get too much advantage of dropping the Fire Leech Bolas on. I mean, I guess, but eh. Alright, Tic-Tac, stay in there. And, oh, I guess there's a Coatl in here, isn't there? Yo. Drop a lightning on these guys? Why not? And would you please leave combat? You've lost like 3 more units since then. Good lord. Alright, otherwise you have killed the cultist, or at least nearly so, and these guys are moving over here. Alright, go deal with them. Now this Coatl is going to need to intercept them, and you can protect Lord Croak. I don't see him dying, but, you know, just let's be careful just in case. You can pop off that Aura of Quetzal, and Lord Croak can back off. Pop on in, and then kill those Spawn of Slaanesh. There we go. And do this. This doesn't really do too much in this particular situation, but nah. Gotta cast something. Wow, how are you so damaged, Tic-Tac? Oh, it's because you're fighting by yourself while I was distracted. Honestly, I thought that they'd clear this faster, but obviously the casualties and, well, the damage doesn't really matter as long as we retain about half of our HP. Because we'll still heal Plenty. Alright, you're nearly done, and drop another Deliverance, just to speed matters along a teensy bit. Alright, and then Tic-Tac is good, and I believe we're done. Alright. Alright, obviously if we wanted to, we could have prevented any of the damage to the Ripperdactyls, but again, if we're healing to full anyway, it doesn't really matter. We could have just had them hover around while we killed off all the enemy with our range units instead of allowing them to get stuck in that manner. But this made it go by a teensy bit faster. Although, admittedly, I probably could have... if I didn't use the melee units, we probably could have used the range units on all max speed for the entire time, so who knows. But either way, with that, this faction is destroyed, and we will heal up to full over the next turn anyway, like so. Beautiful. Alright, Stegodon for... Who? Whoa. No, Itsy Bitsy. Pterodon. This guy can have a Stegodon if he wants, but not you. Ooh, Umbral Tide is available. Demonium Hills is ours, and the Rapturous Excess have been destroyed. Let's pop on into, I guess, Alignment of Order for the control. I'd love the construction reduction, but we can't deal with it. Alright, and a spawning sequence up and running. Beautiful. Alright, so we want to make use of that. Okay, wait. Let's do 2 Blessed Warriors. I guess we'll start with Maces, because Gorak himself is Mace. Like so. And hey, free War Banner. Nice. Alright, then you two. What kind of upgrades do we have? We have the Blessed Spawning of Chotek, which gives us Fire. We have the Blessed Spawning of Huanchi, which gives us Bleed, and the Blessed Spawning of Sotek, which gives us Poison. If we go several ones of these... Ooh, you know, I wish I could see what the Spear variant has. Whether it's Bleed or Lethal Poison. The thing about this is that it gives us Stalk, which means these guys wouldn't be vulnerable to artillery fire, which means it's probably more valuable. Huanchi just generally seems superior. Or like a lot of the time. Anyway, you, I would like to grab... Wait. I'll leave those alone. You, I would like to grab 2 Skink Skirmishers. And then Gorak, I would like you to hatch 2 eggs, namely the Cherupin turtles things. Yes. Alright, I'd love to get another one, but, you know, the money. We could get a 3rd, probably. Replace the Skink Skirmisher, allow them to come in as a reinforcement. Yeah, why not? Get a 3rd. I want all 4, but I'm wary of, you know, the money trade being too much. You will besiege the Awakening, and I'm willing to bet that these guys will sally out and attack us. Especially as we do okay, I did that the other way around. As we do this, and they have another little army. I'll probably attempt to attack Washti, unfortunately. Wait, can you go into encamp stance? You cannot. Alright, well. And then I guess you're just gonna have to suffer a turn of attrition, but be on this side so that Gorak can hopefully take the brunt of the attack. Speaking of Gorak, what do we have here? We have Rally, which we could get, but I think for this battle we'll go for the Protector of Lustria. Cause of Terror isn't too bad. This gives you Unbreakable, which means, well, it's unlikely that you'll lose. Let's also give you some items if we have anything that's decent here. Glyph Necklace, make you a little bit tankier. Enchanted item, we don't have any, do we? Guess we could give you the Cloak of Feathers, but it's probably not needed on you specifically. Probably better on a Slan. And we're not leveling the Skink Chiefs. I mean, we could. They wouldn't be in this army, but... I guess we could get them at least Guerrilla Fighter, because that's still something that they will always want. Okay, you can't even have it. Alright, I'll just leave you alone for now. You can have Guerrilla Fighter. There we go. Any other upgrades that we need to do here? Are we free to end the turn and hopefully fight these guys off? I think we are. We could use more alignments to buff them up, because they will attack. You know what? That's probably a good idea. Let's go to Masteries of Tlaqua again, and since we can pretty much guarantee that they attack, we'll get greater uncompromising strength and buff the army up a little bit. Mastery of Ripperdactyls again. Lovely. Alright, just gotta keep an eye on those alignments, and we have no money to build up the other stuff much as we want to. Ooh, I did really want to upgrade a Schlotl for this thing. Wait, no. It wasn't a Schlotl, it was Quetzal. I did really want to upgrade this, but we can't afford it, so... it is what it is. Alright, I believe we're ready to end the turn then. Alright, what's the what's the over-under on these guys not declaring war on us? Oh, and the raiding too, as if we didn't have enough public order issues here. Oh well, hopefully we can stop them in their tracks. Also, what's our new tech thief leveling? Level 4? Get him up to like 9 or close to 10 and then we'll get him up and running. Instrument of Tepok and blessed by Sotek. Would you please give me the one I want, game? Come on. Alright. Not that it's a bad idea to keep training those guys. Anyway, Gorok is fine. I really wish he had a caster. Let's get Washti a... Obedience brings victory, why not? Get a little bit of extra ore. End turn. Will these guys commit and lose the awakening by attacking us? They should. They have a stack and a half, and we have relatively weak troops. Yes, indeed, they will. Beautiful. Alrighty, they do have 2 uses of Sartosa Grape Shot, but this is a pretty critical moment in our conquest of Lustria. Go Gorok. Alrighty, here we go. We've got turtles on the field now, and as I said, feels very appropriate to have them in Gorok's army in particular. And we'll see how effective they are. They're obviously designed as a sort of tank unit that is not going to be doing too much damage. In fact, they can use their withdraw ability to buff up their defensive capability. Okay, if I could just actually select you, please. Let's try to select this one instead. Chirpins. Yeah, withdraw 20% physical resistance and immunity to psychology, but they cannot move and cannot attack. But hey, make some tankier, and that's the plan. Eventually, once they have gun units on top of them, that'll make them more effective. I imagine the concept here is basically rotting Prometheans, whether it's the defensive crabby units that don't do much damage, or the rotting Promethean gunnery mobs, which do considerable damage instead. Make a comparison once we have the gunner teams on field. In the meantime, though, the battle has been joined beneath the jungle canopy, and we're looking to wipe out the first little army, which is the reinforcement army, before the garrison of the Awakening, which is much larger, arrives on field. Fortunately for us, bomb drop from one of the flyers very clearly takes out the zombie pirate gunnery mobs and bombers, as they were standing on top of each other. And now we're just going to try to obliterate the rest of this army before the other army, I guess, not only arrives, but moves towards us. Yeah, looks like the turtles also attack very, very slowly. But again, hardly surprising. Actually, smaller than I expected them to be, the turtle units. I kind of expected a bigger turt. But all good. I think they'll work nicely with us. The Rock of Itza should absolutely have a sort of unbreakable melee line, and super buffed up Saurus and turtles will certainly help in that. Some animated Hulks are very much still in the fight at 25% of their HP, but they are beginning to melt away, though they have done plenty of damage to the Blessed Saurus warriors, taking about half of their HP in damage. That said, this first army is pretty much done for, and only the Lord and a Gunnery Wight remain. The Gunnery Wight we've been by and large ignoring, but perhaps that was a mistake, as it's managed to rack up a solid 11,000 damage. Very nice. Good job. I wonder if that was from it just firing away, or whether it got a nice bomb throw out. Too bad the game won't specify what did the damage. Oh well, it's not going to survive an attack from the Red-Crested Skinkside Wager, especially because they have heavy and solid armor-piercing damage. They will surround the fragile Gunnery Wight and destroy it. Okay, the Archaeopteryx, you're not supposed to be here. We're supposed to move them back into position. The main fight, the real fight, is just about to begin. We've kept our Chameleon Stalkers not in the first fight so that we were able to move against the second army and hit them in the back. The danger here is that they have a lot of zombie pirate gunnery mob with hand cannons, and even a single volley from those is devastating to whatever unit they fire upon. And frankly, the bomber units can be pretty devastating as well, so definitely got to be careful here. But hey, between the Archaeopteryx being stock capable and very quick, and the Chameleon Stalkers and the 2 units of Pterodon Riders, we can surround and hit the enemy army from multiple directions. and should be able to engage a lot of their range in combat rather soon. Ah, too bad we don't have any magic. That would be a very vulnerable blob of zombies to be able to use that on, but oh well, not a big deal. Alright, engaging in a little bit of range fire as these skink skirmishers fire their blow darts at a unit of handguns. Unfortunately, these are the basic skink skirmishers, which are kind of terrible units. Though luckily for us, the blessed version of skink skirmishers are really nice. If you give them the blessing of Huan Chi and they cause bleed, suddenly they do a lot of damage. There we go, one volley, look at that, one volley from the hand cannons before the Chameleon Stalkers closed, and the Chameleon Stalkers lose 50% of their HP from just that single volley. Which is why I was so gung-ho about obliterating these units before they were able to do anything. And we're certainly willing to take damage to do so, gonna close the distance with the Archaeopteryx as well. Just so that the bombers and the handguns, or the hand cannons rather, can't fire. Regardless of whether we lose or how many of these birdies we lose. On the bright side, though, the enemy artillery have been destroyed at this point, one by a unit of Archaeopteryx, and actually the other, I think, probably also... Actually, no, I think the other was destroyed by Pterodon Riders with Fire Leech Bolas. Anyway, we're sort of closing the net as we move towards the enemy. Their backline has been destroyed, and soon only their melee units will remain, which will mean attacking them from all sides. The Gunnery Wight has been defeated by the red-crusted skinks, which now move into the fray to fight zombies beneath the jungle canopy. And I wager the Red Crest should have a decent chance of winning against a zombie pirate deckhand mob with polearms. Alright, Gorok in the meantime has been fighting the enemy's own equivalent of the turtle units, the Rotting Prometheans. It's gonna take a while as they are similarly defensive. And our turtles are hopefully using their mass to decent effect to block off the enemy animated hulks. Actually, kind of hard to spot them in here. There should be one unit here, and I believe another unit in here somewhere as well. I mean, we have three, but you know, there's another one here. There should be. There's one right there, unless it's a dead one, I can't quite tell. But all good. It won't matter too much as the battle is very nearly ours. Okay, there's another one. Yeah, I think, wait. Yeah, they are alive. Oh, this is them, they're in withdrawal right now, so they're just sort of sitting there. And we were using them to block off the animated Hulk so that they didn't do too much damage to the Saurus. And they looked like corpses because they were withdrawn into their shells, but very much not corpses. Alrighty. And they do still, yes, we can still see that they get in the way of things while they're withdrawn into their shells, which is exactly what I wanted here, so that they could get in the enemy's way. Now, they weren't going to do too much damage like that anyway. Oh, and I like the fact that they actually withdraw, as in, well, I mean, like, you could actually see an animation of them withdrawing. It's not just an effect that you see, as in, like, they... Oh, wow. The Fire Leech Bolas, please. We're lucky that turtle was withdrawn into its shell. But yeah, it's cool that they actually withdraw into their shells rather than just, you know, standing there locked in place with a physical resistance buff. They actually do a thing, and that is nice. I don't know what the Fire Leech Bolas were thinking. All this for one zombie. But anyway, another heroic victory for Gorok, and the Awakening falls. Totem, hey, I guess before we started the battle, I was talking about how Huan Chi's the best, and, well, he rewards us with a blessed totem for acknowledging his superiority. If you gotta pick an old one. Anyway, the... probably not in Gorok's army. We could at least temporarily give this to the Tichi-Wichi's raiders, I think, buff their charge up even more. Anyway, so falls the Awakening. Very, very nice gambit from Gorok. We got the Cherupins, our turtles, well, turtling. They don't do much in the way of damage, at least until we get the Gunner variant up and running. Though, I wonder how long it'll take for them to rack up enough XP if they deal effectively no damage. Actually, I wonder. Let's take this place, and I'm going to be curious to see what their XP is looking like after that one battle. Because they were recruited at the same time as the Source Warriors, one of which leveled up by 3 levels, 3 ranks, one of which by 1. These guys by none, not even a first rank. Huh. Interesting. Occupy. Oh, alrighty, and our expedition is complete. We get Parasaur riding teams as well as regular Parasaurs. Our first riding team. Nice. And a couple more Periaras as well, which is lovely to see. And Gorok AKK advisor. I love you, man, but shush. Yeah, I'm always wary. Oh, I'm stupid. The advisor. Yeah, Gorok has unlocked his quest battle for the Shield of Eons. I like that control +1. Plus 25 armor is kind of meh, but the area augment, armor +60, charge defense and charge reflection, pretty darn solid. Pretty darn solid indeed. Alright, so Luther Harkin, I don't know, maybe he was wounded. Maybe he was wounded fighting something. Is this all the territory these guys have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Aha! It isn't. 1, 2, 3, meaning they probably hold this place, right? No, it's chaos. This place? Wait, is that a place? Huh. Well, they occupy an island somewhere, most likely. The question is, where? That could mean that they could come back at any point. I assume that they haven't confederated the Dread Fleet. Anyway, what I wanted to see was the turtles. So, yeah, they got... Oh, wow. Barely any XP. About 20%. It's going to be a long time to get to tier 4, was it, to upgrade them? Tier 5. Wow. Might be faster to just recruit the gunnery variant. Fun as these guys are. I do like turtles. But anyway, yeah, I guess we'll go to Poxmarsh first. We'll leave Fuming Serpent to last. So Gorok and Washti. Unfortunately, they're going to have to suffer attrition again, but it is what it is. Gorok, head here. I'm going to assume that it's auto-resolvable. Yes, indeed it is. Alright, so you're going to push on towards that, and... Oh, we are out of time. Alright, let's just do that real quick, though. And, oh, we got another expedition that we can send forth in the next episode as well. So, take Poxmarsh, with your beloved turtles. Like so, and occupy. And how's the public order here? Well, we don't collect the income, and spell shield, good. What did we take here? We got... Oh, it's only a tier 2, which is a bit unfortunate, and I guess the spawn pools of the Braves is not something we want here either. We did get pottery out of this, which is something, and eventually that tier 4 plus 10 growth for all provinces, all regions faction-wide building income, diplomatic relations with more lizards, and more potential confederations. For now, though, we are out of time, and Huh? Where are you going? We're not at war with you. I don't know. Anyway, we're out of time, and I'm going to call the episode here. Next time, we move to hopefully wipe out the Lakshi, the World Eater, who is being irritating, with Tic-Tac. We'll have to waste some tech thievery turns, most likely, in order to catch him, as we have to stop his army, because he's just going to keep raiding and annoying us. Fortunately, though, we're not at war with these guys, so that's okay. We'll deal with that. We will link up the armies with the Diga and Izozyme and move towards the Flaming Scribes until we hopefully link up with Oshiotla, and similarly, hopefully knock out the Awakened as well. Might even send the Skink Chief out to scout, try to figure out where their third territory is. Not clear from the map, that's for certain. We could always peace out with them once we get their last one. But anyway, see more Tic-Tac and more of these fancy dinos next time. Stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, as they will determine campaign length and upload schedule. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.